Welcome back to the Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of Chechnya. We are consolidating our territories in the Caucasus region that we've grabbed. Um, we're going to have to escape the European sphere of influence if we want to grow our resource acquisition, while also not butting heads with the Chinese. And that is going to involve a navy. So we will have a need at some point very soon to have a navy. Let's see what we have going on here. Don't see any crazy events. I'm not gonna be able to do anything with Azerbaijan because they still have that breakaway region. It's across the Turkish border. They're pretty much safe. Like, this is the equivalent of like Vatican City. It's just like they're chill. They're just gonna be there. Um, Opportunities. Australia, China, the US kind of solidified their regions. We have the leftover remains of Russia that aren't a part of NATO or China, South America, and then Africa. So most of the Middle East, I believe, is Europe. Yep, they control all of the oil there. That's wild. But we do have this nice chunk here to work with. So that is to be kept in mind. I did not realize Tatarstan was part of NATO. Yep. That's a tough one. Yeah, because could have been better. It could have been better. All right, how are we looking? I don't think. Yeah, I don't see any like immediate things we can do because we're only getting 0.75 political power. I really don't have anything I can do spending wise to increase. Everything's already maxed out. The only thing I can do is spend political power on small and medium business ownership, but I need political power. Is that worthwhile for the expenditure? Probably not right now. Like, I'll spend more just to get it up than I will actually get increases for. I would have had to have maintained it at the highest level. And we also, like, we don't need the money either, so there's really not a super huge benefit to doing that. Um, Dear God. All these use political power? Oh, that's like the worst thing ever. Plus, it lowers stability, which lowers our like political power gain. Is this recover or is that permanent? We'll go ahead and do that. We'll see what happens. All right, so we're getting integrated radar control, which means we're about as high as we can get. I am going to increase our landing capabilities for naval invasions. Looking forward to that. Like, we could spend political power on. Yeah, we lost quite a bit due to the stability reductions. Yeah, we're losing 9% political power gain. Factory and naval output reductions. It's not great. And then we're losing war support just based on our stability as well. If I can get our tax rate down, that'll actually help us out immensely. But that's going to rely completely basically on foreign investment. If we can get our foreign investment up and continue doing so. Air to ground weapons, I think we just completed. Modern, so we really can make kind of a 5th gen fighter here soon. Yeah, I don't know about naval stuff yet. I'm gonna stay away from like air to ship weapons for now. Can we get air to air near future stealth? We're working on both of those. We can't get the internal bays going. I don't believe we still. Yeah, we don't have bureaucratic drains still. 0.7. No one's able to outbuild us. I think Georgia is probably the biggest risk for having enough construction and factories to actually outbuild us. That, or I may need to worry about northern Cyprus because I can't recover it. All right, and internal details about these countries for planning purposes. Uzbekistan actually has a fairly large armed forces. Like it's mostly tanks and mechanized, which is good for their terrain and is absolutely a problem. Tank mounted SAMs. Definitely want to get those going. We would need another level of construction there. How much? We do have enough army experience. We can work on some of our designs. Yeah, so Uzbekistan would be an interesting choice. Especially with them being a target of Kazakhstan here. Tajikistan. So Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan are guaranteeing Tajikistan, but Kazakhstan has got them as a war goal for annexing. So we would have to go to war with both of these countries. So we're going to war with all three of these all at once. Uzbekistan may be independent. We'd have to drop an like only air units, airborne divisions, sorry, would be functional for completing an invasion, and they have too many units. Basically, we have to take out Kazakhstan, is how that goes. And can we be self-sufficient to grind that out? Will be what it comes down to. I want to check out our boat. We're at the 1st of June in a year and a half. We do have quite a few more factories now. So that's good. Let's see if we can scout around for open territory we want to claim. This would actually be a nice piece of land if we could take it. How's Sri Lanka? Like they are available. They have a lot of rubber, which we do need. They have a ton of rubber. We could make that happen. I want to say that may be something we need to look at. Yeah, as Europe's considered like completely consolidated all those other territories. We would be able to do this successfully. I think I'm going to look into lowering our exports. I think that's something that would be beneficial once we get everything annexed. So definitely something worth looking into. I love that we don't have a space program, but we could somehow asteroid mine for 50 political power we don't have. Makes a ton of sense. Oh, I think we have the money, right? Help our entrepreneurs out. All right, we're gonna have to spend political power. We'll just keep this as light armaments. Keep leveling it up. And we'll go ahead and bump that to this 2015 version. Okay. Not looking too bad. Curious where we stand economically. It's basically 7 trillion, 6.9. So we're right under Malaysia. We've passed Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and Peru. We're actually kind of catching up with like Colombia, Indonesia, and Canada. somehow below North Korea, who I think did unify with South Korea in this playthrough. Yeah, so North Korea did take out South Korea at some point. So they have a much bigger economy than one would normally expect. Like our unemployment rate is going down. I imagine we're fighting our populace. Like at some point we're just going to run out of people again. So definitely need to get more of these states merged in faster. I think Sri Lanka's probably a good choice. We may have to push the envelope a little bit and take out this little country here. Malay. The Seychelles, also another option. They're not far off. That might be in range. Because that's what it's going to come down to is can we put boats in range to make anything happen, or do we need to take over somewhere like in Africa here? Which we could do. Like an Eritrea or something. They do have steel, honestly. They've improved in a non-aggression pact. They're merging. They're not aligned to a faction at this moment. I think Eritrea may be worthwhile for 81 political power to get a jump on some steel and to get access towards the Pacific and Indian Ocean side. That is a long way for us. But realistically, oil isn't necessarily our problem. Ooh, I didn't realize they had this much steel. We're gonna have to take this country. Arsak, or however you say this. Um, yeah, we're definitely unifying this. I don't really see 44 political power versus 80, 440 days. This is much quicker of a war goal. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We need the steel, so we're gonna grab those. And actually don't think we need to do anything other than use the airborne brigades. Realistically. Alright, so we got our auto cannons done. Go ahead and research some of the ammo. We are going to move our special forces from wherever they're training to this front line here. Every little bit of steel is going to help us towards our goals. Nope. We just want him right up on that border. So they have a tank, 2 tank battalions, and a motorized unit. It looks like probably not great in mountainous regions. I almost want to say our airborne would be better. Yeah, it has a 120 combat width too. So we're actually gonna stop our training with those units. I'm gonna break all these orders. And we're gonna send one of these army groups down south, which is gonna be this lesser promoted group. And we're gonna give them the offensive order to take these lands. We're gonna get drones. Maximize our infantry. That's pretty good troop movement as well. They're moving very fast. We can do another thing of foreign investment. We're going to move away from Ukraine. I believe they are filled up with nuclear facilities. So back to the Urals. Nope. Komi. You want nuclear power plants? You get nuclear power plants. The US let us have nuclear energy, so we're going to take advantage. All right. See, our power is continuing to grow, so we're at a good rate. We are continuing to get more civilian factories up. We're past 4 stacks and halfway through another. I'm not against it. That's a good spot to be in. It's just we're a little slow. Like this would normally be where I'd want to be in the 2020s. Like 2020. But we'll make it work. Like our main rail lines are finishing up too. And to see those more modern rail lines on the map. Coming out from Grozny. I also wonder about, do we want to just go to war with the United States? We very much could do this just because they don't have very easy access to us at this moment. Like, yeah, they're close with India, but it, they still can't go over land. They'd have to go around through this European territory, realistically. Yeah, if we look at the faction control, if I had, if this is a crossable border, that makes everything so much different on this map. Pakistan being in China's sphere is horrible for everyone. I think Venezuela is puppeted, right? In this, or was that the American playthrough? No, that must be the American playthrough, so we could go there for oil. South America may be the play this run. Yeah, because what is our government? I know we're not aligned, but autocrats. So it's an authoritarian, non-aligned authoritarian party. That makes sense. All right, 43% stability is pretty bad. We're losing 10% of our political power too. And then boost our. Yeah, so we would have to spend more. Yeah, we're getting almost 100,000 civilians. We're up to 47 million total population in our core states. I wonder if I could see population metrics of these areas that we haven't integrated yet. How did I lose? I thought I was over 100. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going insane. Yeah, look at our employment. This is not great. Yeah, if we need, trying to think how that's gonna play out. If we drop 2% in just this play, like of this episode, I'm gonna need to integrate a territory in 3 episodes. But we only got like 50 political power because we lost some of our gain due to that event. If we could somehow keep getting our small and medium business owners up without taking events that lower our stability overall, we'd be great. Like, we'd be so much more better off. Yeah. You can only do so much, though, you know? You can only do so much. And then I think we'll have our war deck here, so we'll be able to at least claim this territory before Europe. And this will be in 6 months. So the end of the year, so December-ish. Oh. All right, we got some ammunition. Yeah, I definitely want to see us getting ground vehicles at least. Looks like our hull's going to be done about the time that war starts. So we'll be pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all in the next episode.